And now shifting our attention to the latest from the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia's defense minister has travelled to Somalia for a bilateral visit, the first since diplomatic relations between the two neighbours nosedived last year. In a post shared on social media platform X, Ethiopia's Foreign Affairs Ministry said that the two countries have agreed to collaborate on the new African Union peacekeeping mission in Somalia, as well as strengthen their bilateral relations. Reports suggest that following the meeting between the two countries, Somalia's Foreign Affairs Minister declared that the protracted diplomatic dispute between Ethiopia and Somalia was over. He said that the issues with Ethiopia were resolved through Somalia's patience and trust. But Somalia is yet to comment on whether there were discussions on the new peacekeeping mission in the country, called the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission, or the AUSSOM, which is tasked to fight the Al-Shabaab terrorists. Now, the visit from Ethiopia's defense minister follows a similar visit by Somalia's foreign affairs minister to Addis Ababa late in December that aimed to strengthen the commitments made by both countries in Ankara. The Ethiopian delegation's visit to Mogadishu also comes after ties between the two countries worsened in 2024 over Addis Ababa's plan to build a naval base in the breakaway Somali region. Landlocked Ethiopia had signed an agreement last year with Somaliland, Somalia's breakaway region, to lease a port and military base on its coastline. In exchange, Ethiopia offered recognition to Somaliland, but Somalia viewed this as a breach of its sovereignty. The Somaliland deal led to months of escalating rhetoric between the neighbours, with Somalia threatening to expel Ethiopian troops fighting terrorists in the country if Addis Ababa did not denounce the agreement with Somaliland. Somalia also said that Ethiopian troops would not be invited to be a part of the AUSSOM, which began its operations earlier this week. Ethiopia reportedly has up to 10,000 troops in Somalia as part of the African Union's previous peacekeeping mission to fight Al-Shabaab terrorists. The growing dispute between the two neighbours also raised concerns about a wider conflict in the Horn of Africa, with Somalia responding to the Somaliland deal by drawing closer to Ethiopia's traditional rivals, Egypt and Eritrea. However, after months of inconclusive international mediation efforts, in December of 2024, Somalia and Ethiopia finally agreed in Turkey to work together to resolve their differences. As a part of the Ankara deal signed by the President of Somalia and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the two countries decided to de-escalate tensions and move toward peace. They also agreed on talks around Ethiopia ending its agreement with Somaliland, in exchange for access to Somalia's ports. They also agreed to increase the trade between the two neighbouring countries. Yet, despite the peace deal, clashes between Somalia and Ethiopian troops were reported late last month, exposing the fissures between the neighbours. Now, this latest visit by the Ethiopian delegation to Mogadishu indicates that both sides are willing to negotiate a quick dent and to look for stable diplomatic ties. But will Somalia have a change of heart and allow Ethiopia to participate in the new African Union peacekeeping mission? Only time will tell.